So I'm Gloria, and
I'm Nour.
we're from Fjord. Fjord is a service design consultancy, so we're part of Accenture Interactive. The tagline is Fjord Design and Innovation from Accenture Interactive, and we deal with products and services.
So we're mentors here. We're helping facilitate sort of the thinking process. We're helping them think about an issue with a service design perspective, really focusing on the user experience and understanding how many users are actually using the service, what are the different types of stakeholders, and how they can tell a story, basically.
And I think being mentors in this as well, it's because you have that experience. We work in an agency and we're service designers on a day-to-day basis, kind of knowing when do you have to dive into a problem, when you have to step back, and also being there to assess how they're doing and what your role needs to be at any one point. So sometimes they're doing great, step back, let them do it. Other times they're a little stuck. So you come in, inspire or try this instead, just say what needs to be done.
Yeah, and the tools are definitely really practical in helping them unlock these moments.
So mine, I think it's been a wave. Yesterday morning, they were very excited when we went out and did the research, and they had a lot of fun. So we came back from that and really excited. And then I think we kind of went on a downward slump maybe after lunch, and they felt like they were stuck. The solution that they had gotten to, they didn't like, and they weren't inspired by it. And so there was a period before dinner, it was just, you look around and glazed eyes and blank faces. And then I was trying to, push them along. And at a certain point I said, okay, get up, follow me. We went for a walk, we did some exercises, we regrouped and decided to start over. And then they're really excited now and carrying it forward, so it's great.
What's the first time?
Yeah.
For us, I think they started off quite excited. I think they had some ideas. They knew what they were interested in. They didn't know what they wanted to make. So they knew what the grand vision was for this thing, but they didn't know what the thing was and how it would actually work. So that's where the struggle was, and I think it took them about a day and a half to get to something, but they wanted more time to think and make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And so, my role there was, okay, let's focus, and you have the whole design process to actually think about it, because now you need to make things, and that will help
push
you
that,
perfect the idea. You can't just have the idea like that in your head and without having tried out some thinking tools and tried some prototyping. The tools definitely help in this case, although we don't need to use all the tools every time, but definitely just drawing a journey.
Yeah, I think
very important.
Picking up on what you said, this I want to make it better, or during our dip yesterday, and they weren't excited about where we had gotten to, and there was one of the students was just like, it's not good enough, it's not, and I know it can be better, and I know it, but I just don't know what the solution is, or there was also something about I want it to be perfect, and it's not. And it's just well, it doesn't have to be, and that's why just okay, build something, make something with your hands and see where that takes you. Maybe that takes you more towards your idea of perfection, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I did have one team member who was always coming up with solutions, but that was a little bit. It was an example of what not to do. The first, this is the solution. Let's do that. No, you need to work all together and come up with a solution together, and it actually takes a bit more time than, a bit
it's
more
not
thinking.
A click, it's not a light bulb. It's it kind of okay, we got here and retrack, and now we're here, and okay, it's great.
First time was as a mentor. I actually was a participant in New York 3 years ago. In Loughborough, people are so friendly. Loughborough Jam.
Fun.
I think I learned as a trainer. I learned how to deal with a group dynamic and kind of help them work collaboratively, because they don't necessarily know how to do that, or they haven't done that before. And we have a couple of students, it's a bit different. Also different age ranges and different positions. So all of that, trying to put them all in the same place so that they are all at the same level, and everyone is equally contributing. So that's what I learned the most, I think. And sort of like what you said earlier, stepping back when they're starting to think and not
doing it
them.
for them. Yeah.
That's a bit tricky.
Yeah, I think that's, for me, it's that exactly, like walking that line between doing enough to help, but keeping far enough away that they're the ones doing the work and driving it. And I'm just like, well, if you need a nudge here or there, I'm here.